All right, welcome back, everybody. Our candidates are ready. Please take your seats.
These seem to be going faster. So I hold in my hand the last question. If any of you watch or listen to CBC, they have a great show called The Debaters, and the host, when he gets to the end of the questions, will call it the bare knuckle round. So I want to call this the bare knuckle round. Please feel free to make any sort of last-minute statement, something you really believe in, your passion. Does this may be your last chance, other than your closing statement, to really hit it home about what you're about? The question is, are you for or against increasing the minimum wage, and why?
Of course, I am for increasing the minimum wage, and especially in this riding of Calgary Greenway. I'm a daughter of immigrants. I'm a daughter of a mother who worked on minimum wage. I worked on minimum wage to put myself through school. And minimum wage, at that time, if my mother had gotten an increment in that minimum wage, or my father had an increment in the minimum wage, it would have helped our family. And it would help families right now as well in our communities. Families who need to put food on the table every night. Families who need to give good education to their children. And families who need to provide for their loved ones. We need that money coming into the system. However, on the other hand, small businesses, they complain, some of them, only a few of them, might complain that, minimum wage is going to hurt us. But there is proof. There is proof, economic proof. There is proof currently in Seattle as well, minimum wage was increased, that money goes back into the economy and is recycled into the economy, and it helps the economy rather than hurt it.
Thanks, bro. I think it's a very important issue, especially as a Greenway is a very, very diverse riding. Lots of residents that fit in the category that work in the minimum wage, and we have to take care of those people. However, the small businesses are also a very important part of our society. As I said, our main goal is to create jobs, not punish jobs. And in order for us to do that, we have to appreciate small business and the larger corporations. So it can't be done at the expense of other party. So it has to be consulted, and it have to have a balance for both. So the people who are working for minimum wage, they are being benefited, and also the small businesses can also support and those wage hikes. Thank you.
Before I moved to Calgary, 22 years ago, I was working the minimum wage. My dream was to get paid more. This was my dream, and I totally supported it. But the problem is, here the government is, who increased the minimum wage to 50% just because of their ideology. This is not the way. We need to talk to the small businesses who pay their employees. We need to talk to the employees how much do you want to pay. You need to consult before you enforce this. We want to make sure those businesses stay in business. We don't want to shut down those businesses and tell them to pay, because if you don't have a job, what are you going to make? Minimum wage should be high, but at the appropriate time when the businesses, government, and the employees feel comfortable. Thank you.
Obviously, if you're a true conservative, you will have great reservations about any minimum wage laws. They're really a union job protection racket. They're very hard on young people that are getting into the workforce to develop. Maybe they have very minimal skills to begin with, but if the employer is forced to pay too high a wage, he'll eliminate that opportunity and just make the other ones work harder. That's what really happens with minimum wage. And to jack it up to $15 an hour, a devastating blow on youth employment. These youth need to be active in developing their skills, and you're crushing them by doing this. Because frankly, there are some people with job habits and skills that are of so little use to the employer, he's not going to make the effort to do it. So it's a job-killing program. You must understand it protects union jobs first and foremost over the development of skills in the youth. This is very, very wrong. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to take a different angle with this again. However, it's because I think we actually have the greatest solution for this, and that's the guaranteed livable income, also known as the basic income. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's an income that you would actually receive, or every single citizen would receive, no questions asked. And now it's not saying like, hey, here's $50,000, go party or whatever. No, this is just to provide the basic necessities of life. So food, and paying your bills, and being able to feed your children. Now, there's studies that have already shown that it decreases crime because people are less enticed to go steal or to make money in other different means. Now, there's even a lot of liberal support. I know my man here. There's Kent Hare who supported me with this as well. And then also, Ontario is really pushing for this right now, the guaranteed livable income.
This isn't Ontario.
I know, but hey, you know what? Right now, there are tons of huge lines at the EI offices right now because people are waiting to get those funds. Instead, we can roll up all those programs if we want to all these people already.
Okay, I've heard enough about bowel movement so far. So, minimum wage, do we want to increase it? So I'm all for a minimum wage, but not right now. What is going to happen if you increase the minimum wage? Obviously, the small business owner will have to jack up his prices. By jacking up his prices, it's going to lead to inflation. So it's a knock-on effect. So if we're going to increase the minimum wage, are we going to be physically any better off? The answer to that is no. I know they're saying no, yes we are, but it's not true. We are not going to be better off. When do we increase the minimum wage? It's simply when our economy gets better. Once it gets better, then we increase the prices slowly, 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 not a straight bang to $15. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think the objective behind the question was reached, and that is to give you a little greater insight into their personal opinions or their party opinions as to answers to specific questions that you wanted to hear that you wouldn't necessarily hear at the door or on their website. So with that, I think we should give all these candidates a great recognition for their answers. And of course, you will have the opportunity to meet and talk with them after this if your question wasn't answered or it wasn't asked and you want to get an answer. Please feel free to see them.
Hello?
Yeah?
Will you take questions from the audience?
Nope. No, that was it. Thank you very much. That's why I say make sure you talk to them after.
Questions come up after people speak.
No, thank you. With that, I'd like to turn this back to our chairman, Brian Lee.
Thanks very much. Ladies and gentlemen, 350 people showed up on a beautiful summer day in spring, so congratulate yourself on that. Show of hands, how many of you live in Calgary Greenway? All right, very good. Okay, very impressive. Oh, we are? Okay. I asked everybody. So folks, we had an order for opening remarks. We're going to go in reverse order. There are 3 minutes allowed for the closing remarks. Our timer will stand at 2:30, hold the gold card. 2:45, she will sit, and at 3 minutes, she'll stand with the red card, and you know what to do. All right. Folks, for the first closing remark, please call upon independent candidate Larry Heather.
Thank you very much. It's been a great time. I ask you for your vote on March 22nd. Larry Heather, independent from Calgary Greenway. Just before I forget that, you know, there's one issue that's coming up at the end of this month, March 31st. Education Minister David Egan has threatened to dissolve all the school boards in Alberta who refuse to go along with his gender-bending guidelines, throwing our youth into total confusion. And I want you to realize this is a serious imposition, that we have religious education rights embedded into the Alberta Constitution. Dissolve those and you dissolve the government. You understand how important this is. So it's really on my heart. Calgary Mayor Naheed Nenshi declared in 2014 that any opposition to imposing gay-straight alliances on Alberta schools was motivated by hatred on the part of unwelcoming hillbillies who can embarrass Alberta on the international stage. And he's obviously not familiar with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education that should be given to their children. This basic human right of all parents, I don't care what ethnicity you're from, I don't care your religious background. When the government can overturn your moral code for some crazy idea of fluid gender, going back and forth, using the washroom that you decide to use on a particular day. This is madness. We've got to stop these people. We have to stop it. We cannot cooperate with this sort of, it's one of those situations, voting against the Ten Commandments. It's not a votable issue. Let's give counseling and reparative therapy to these people who, as the DSM manual included, have a recognizable psychiatric disorder. They need counseling. We don't need to put scores of individual youth in further jeopardy. Again, we have decisions, pornography, the Saga series, made available in our public libraries. Let's stop this kind of thing or God will not be pleased. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Larry. Closing remarks from Liberal candidate Khalil Karbani.
My friend, you have had a chance to hear from all the candidates on stage today. You have a very important decision on March 22nd to make. In the most recent provincial election, Alberta showed that this province was ready for change. In the most recent federal election, this riding showed that it was ready for change. And today, I'm telling you that Calgary Greenway is also ready for change. This election is about two things. The first being the economy and the second being experience. I have a plan to keep the government accountable on the economy, and I have experience to save this riding. I am the only party candidate who lives in this riding and also has experience working with this community. None of these candidates have failed to question what is the number one thing that this constituency is going through apart from the economy, and that is domestic violence. We haven't heard a single person here say that. So during this historic vote, I want to ask yourselves, which of these candidates will not only stick up for yourself,